Welcome everyone. We are 3 Scoops on a Sunday, and we are here for all things self-empowerment, self-development, growth, challenges, hot topics, but most importantly, fun. So tap in and strap in because baby, you will be in for a ride. I am one of your hosts, Brittany J. And today I bring my very best friend, my soul sister, Aquita.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited. Can't wait to get in here and add to the scoop.
Five scoops today.
What's up, everybody? I am your host, Ava Divine, with a capital D, baby. And I am always here to bring you a sweet scoop with a healthy topic of sass and class.
I love it. And I'm Quayla Fire. And today I brought my bestie, Dorian. And this was not planned. Look, we just think alike. We put on these turbans because that's what we was feeling today.
Today, it was that. And I think yours matched my outfit and then mine matched yours.
Your connection's not good.
I think I got what she was saying. She said something about matching turbans, like matching your outfit and yours matching hers, like
That's
it's reversed.
Right.
Twins.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, good translation, Brittany. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I got y'all. We good.
So I am
so
tapping
last week, y'all.
Ghana, so that's my internet is a little like shaky.
Because you in Ghana, girl. You in Ghana.
Yeah.
She's in the motherland. I love it. So last week, y'all, we kicked off the month talking about the most important relationship, the relationship with self, the need sometimes to break up with the old self, the old habits, the old curses, and to make up and recommit with the new self. We've also received some really positive reviews and feedback regarding that episode. So I strongly encourage you guys to go and check it out. It's on YouTube and it's also available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio. What else? I said Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other major platforms. So check us out. Thank y'all.
Yes. Okay, so it's time for my favorite part of the show, which is the flavor of the week. Woo-hoo. And this week's flavor is vanilla, the OG of the ice cream. So we chose vanilla because it is the most authentic. It is the flavor that goes with anything, candies, cookies, sauces, whatever you throw on it, it's going to make it delicious. And there is no weddings, there's no birthdays, there's no sad moments where you're sitting on the couch crying, eating you a scoop of ice cream with your best friend next to you while you're leaning on the shoulder. Those are the times when you spend like your most authentic self, like you're able to be more vulnerable, you're able to give your all in those moments. And that's why we chose vanilla to go with our discussion about friendships, which is why we have our besties on the show. So yes, welcome again, Aquita and Dorian.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, y'all. So before we get into our main discussion for this episode, I have a hot topping for y'all. I got a hot topping, okay?
Okay.
A delicious scoop of vanilla. So for those of you who are new to this, a hot topping is where we discuss things that have to do with our topic of discussion for the week that are trending. So one of the things that I want to put out there was this weird trend of people smashing their friends' faces in their birthday cakes. Personally, I want to get you guys' opinion on this because I've seen it go pretty south. I've seen a lot of videos come up lately of people getting knocked out, just because they get their head slammed down and maybe their head misses the cake completely. Maybe their head goes into the cake, but they break their nose because it was so impactful. And then there's a lot of conversation going on about the almost kind of disrespect of it, because I guess for a lot of people, that's not they don't want to be embarrassed or made to look like they got cake on their face or made a joke of at a special celebration. You know, some people don't even like being the center of attention. Yeah. So I want to get you guys' take on it. How do you feel about that? If your friend smashed your face in a birthday cake, how would you feel? Like, what's your take on it?
Friends anymore. I'm just gonna be honest. It would take a long time for me to get over that. That is so rude.
Maybe it was some built up, like, I don't like you really in my soul type energy for you to do that. First of all, cake is expensive, and sometimes, and you might have a nice little beat if it's your birthday. You're gonna know too much money so you as my friend should know that this was a little pricey. So and then on top of you embarrassing me, so I feel like in your soul you might hate me.
Oh wow.
So we're not, maybe.
It's just I know like an onlooker, I would be a little bit upset that the cake is ruined. I came for cake. I mean, I came for the person too, but I'm also there for cake. Like,
that's true. When you think about it, that's actually very true.
Like, I don't want to eat cake.
Yeah. I just feel like you should know your friend. Like, why are you playing me to the left like that? Why would you hit me in the face with some cake? Was your idea to embarrass me on my special day? Like, are we really friends? You know what I mean? Like, don't play with me like that. When you said somebody got knocked out, I thought somebody got hit with the cake, and then the friend turned around and knocked the friend out. I was like, oh
no, like there's a bunch of, even if you YouTube it too, you'll see like a bunch of, I guess, birthday cake fails, so to speak, of people going to slam their friend's face in a birthday cake and it just goes wrong. Like, I've seen people get knocked out. I've seen some people end up with a bloody nose.
No.
There was even one where they didn't realize that there was like one of those little long pick thingies inside the cake.
And I saw that one and it got stuck in his eye.
Yes.
See,
yes.
How can y'all?
We're not friends no more.
No.
I think it's cute if you do, like, you know how they do on weddings and you kind of like put a little bit and you kind of, I can see that. Like, I can get over that, but you dumping my head.
Don't touch me with no goddamn cake.
That's a lot.
Just don't touch me with the cake. Okay.
Okay. I can see that for maybe little kids. You know what I'm saying? A little cutesy look. Other than that, like as an adult, you put time and energy into looking good and celebrating your birthday. You may want to go somewhere after the fact. And so it's really like inconsiderate for somebody to just ruin your whole look for what?
Right. And then there will be ones where the person will get mad that they just got cake on them. And so then they're trying to throw the cake, but then everybody zigs in and starts throwing the cake at them. So now my makeup's been ruined, my outfit's been ruined.
No.
That's not the party that I signed up for. Don't invite me to any party like that.
That's a hot mess.
Right.
Oh, I'm not coming.
Okay, so now that we had that little discussion, we know how everybody's feeling about it. Let's roll into our topic of the week, which is basically about friendships and the building of friendships and connections. So I have an interesting Reddit post that I found that I wanted to read to you all and get your take on what's going on what it's about. Maybe give some advice to this person, because this is an interesting one. So the Reddit post is titled, "My best friend puts zero effort into our friendship. How do I tell her this?" My best friend is completely uninterested in ever hanging out with me. Anytime I ask when she's free to make plans, she just responds with, "I don't know," and then changes the subject. She ignores my messages for days at a time, even when the message is about something urgent. And I feel like I can never rely on her because of this. It was quite a while ago I realized she just doesn't want to spend time with me. Whenever we are hanging out together, which is rare, she is always at least an hour late and leaves to go home an hour early. I feel like she doesn't respect my time because of this. We were talking about going to see the new Top Gun movie together. She said no because she wanted to watch the original Top Gun before she sees the new one. I'm like, okay, there's no rush. Just watch the first one when you get the chance, and then we could go to the theater together for the new one. I find out she watched the new one without me in the theaters a week ago. Did she watch the original one at all? Nope. It was just an excuse to not go with me. I feel like this friendship is nothing but excuses. It sucks because every time we do hang out, we always have such a great time, but that hardly happens due to her lack of effort and care for our friendship. I'm sick of being the only one who cares in this one-sided friendship. I've been disappointed and let down too many times, and I want her to know what she has done to me. However, I have no idea how to bring this up to her, as she thinks I'm completely oblivious to it.
So, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. That's not your friend, baby. You just described somebody that's absolutely 100% not even your friend, baby. Just ghost her. Be done. Mm-hmm. Period. Because that's not your friend. She does not prioritize your time. She does not care about your needs. She does not obviously listen to you. She does not spend time with you whatsoever. She has ulterior motives, if you ask me. What they are, I don't know. But that's not somebody that even wants to be your friend. She's stringing her along.
I agree. I think so. I think it's interesting because I'm not, on one hand, she refers to her as her best friend, but I almost wonder if this girl ever referred to her as her best friend, because the way that she's acting makes it seem like she's just some
acquaintance,
normal friend, that she knows, but maybe the girl just connects with her to the extent of being a best friend, or maybe they were really close at one point, but somehow that just kind of died off and dwindled down without much communication on the why. So I feel like the important question is to ask, should there be a discussion about it? Does she really feel the need to bring it up? And is that valid? Should she do that?
Right. I think sometimes we use the word friend, the term in itself, too loosely. Mm-hmm. Just based off of the comment, best friend is definitely an overstatement, but friend to me is even an overstatement because friendships are equally investments. You know what I mean? And if she's not even willing to watch a movie with you, you know what I mean? She's not even willing to communicate with you. She's showing up late, leaving early. Why do you even consider her a friend? It doesn't sound like she's pouring into you at all. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It sounds like she's avoiding you.
Right.
I think they should talk though. They should have a discussion. She should bring it up only because she needs closure. The other girls probably ended the relationship a long time ago and don't really consider her as a best friend. But since the one in the Reddit post has not come to terms with that, a discussion should be had so she can get closure and start to move along and accept that we are no longer best friends, maybe close acquaintances, and then, move along accordingly.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I don't know that I would let that slide for that long. It seems like this has been something that's possibly been happening for a minute, Mm-hmm. For me, it's just if there's something, if you're my best friend and I'm sensing that there's something wrong to that level where you keep making excuses, I probably would have addressed it way sooner because what's the problem? You know what I mean? What's the issue?
Right.
I mean, because that's what best friends do though. When we have issues, we address them, we talk about them, the girl sounds so uninterested that I don't even know that she would give her the closure that she's looking for. Mm-hmm. She is completely unreliable. She shows that she doesn't care. I mean, how many times have we tried to get closure from somebody that didn't care and that fared well? I mean, if sometimes it's just, you just got to cut your losses and walk away.
Learn how to move on.
Yeah.
I do feel like sometimes people are friends in seasons. and maybe one person has moved on off of that season, and that person in the Reddit post is still in the season of that friendship. And maybe she just has not had the personal growth to understand, well, she has kind of maybe, moved on a higher vibration and I'm still on this low vibration. I mean, sometimes you just kind of don't know. And for her, it seems like she's kind of still holding on to something, but the other girl has completely moved on. I'm kind of with Quayla. I do feel like maybe it should be a conversation needs to be had. Maybe not for closure, but just to know, like, damn, like I'm still a person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
I mean, if we friends, I should be able to express myself to you. If we not friends, then good. I can express myself to you. You can take it however you want to. You know what I mean? Either way. Right. But I'm saying, like, I feel like she might, because Brittany made a good comment, she might not give her the closure that she needs. It's just her, it just might be her getting it off her chest. You know what I mean? Which is what I agree with you. Like, she expressed it, but she's probably just not going to get the closure that she's just going to be able to be free from this weight off of her, because you can tell she's hurt and her feelings are hurt. And whatever they had was genuine at a time, but people grow. And I feel like true friendships, you either grow with that person or you just don't, and then it just is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just think it's just a hard conversation to have. When you have somebody that you used to love or look at as a sister, or y'all was really close, and then you do kind of outgrow them and they don't realize that you outgrew them. And it's like, how do you say that in a way without hurting their feelings? So sometimes it's just easier to kind of grow apart from them or to, back away. But then at the end of the day, you got this person over here kind of left stuck. Like, you're not even trying to talk to me. You don't want to hang out with me. You don't want to do anything with me. So I just think it's maybe hard on both sides when it's time for a friendship to end.
But we're also assuming that they were super close also, because I have talked to someone who it was always one-sided. I saw you as my best friend and they just saw them as, a friend. And
you're not talking about me though, y'all.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Sometimes we put more emphasis in the relationship because we want a friendship like that. However, the other person is not
there
to be that to you. And they just not might be aware of it. They're just kind of thinking in their mind, this is what it is, but not really. And then maybe that's the reason why they haven't had a conversation, because the other person doesn't see it like that. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna show up when I want to show up because I'm not your best friend. I'm just, we're cool, but I don't feel like I have to show up like that for you.
Right. Yeah, I think that we are just getting the view from the Reddit poster, and we don't know how this best friend of hers actually sees the friendship or came into the friendship. Like you said, she may have never seen this individual as her best friend. She might have just been like, oh, this is a cool person I hang out with from time to time. But that individual might just be so wrapped up in the fact that they just love this person. They love spending time with this person. This person is probably one of the closest individuals in their circle. Right. And so they consider that person a best friend. If it is one of those things where they have been best friends for actually told each other, we're best friends, we're besties, that's a different story.
Yeah, that changes things. Yes.
But then, just like Aquita said, you can get in situations where one friend grows and the other friend maybe doesn't do as much growing. It's like you grow apart from each other a bit. And it might be hard to express that or tell somebody that, because it's true. How would you feel if your best friend was just like, yeah, you're not on my level anymore? Sorry.
Right.
You're gonna be like, bitch, what?
What level is that? What kind of level?
How dare you?
Yeah, on the level. That I'm sure it would be a hard discussion, but still, You just to, I don't know. I would want to at least
I
say
agree with
something.
Dorian. At the end of the day, get it off your chest. Now, just don't have any expectations in terms of what the response may be or if you'll get one. But say what you need to say. Get it all out, because
okay, I can agree with that. I would say maybe not the closure part, but it's still express yourself and let them know how you feel. And if you have to walk away, be willing to know that might be a possibility.
Absolutely. I like the way you said
it. Does kind of sound like some single white female. I think the girl is in her head more in love with this girl, and the other girl is like, we only had 2 drinks one day at the bar. You
know what? I didn't think about that though. Like, what if her perception is a little bit off? That's a different way to look at it.
That absolutely happens. Or her best friend could be a Libra, because that's the thing also. Libras have like 10 best friends.
I already got my sunshades for the shade.
She came prepared for you, Quayla.
She did. Yeah, I did.
But I think that brings us into a different question to consider, right? How do you know, like, if your best friend or any friend is really your friend?
Yeah.
How can you tell? Like, what I guess signals will kind of tell you overall whether the friend that you have is really a true, authentic friend?
First things first, understanding, whether it's you trying to gain an understanding or you already have an understanding. I think that is so important in terms of building a connection, is really trying to understand a person, and patience.
I would say, how do you feel when you're around that person? Are you trying to become a new person to fit in? Are you okay with yourself? Do you feel embarrassed? Do you what is the overall feeling that you have with this person? If you don't leave or come in the same person that you were prior to, and when I mean, not mean change, but I mean, if I act the same way with my family that I act with you, that I act with everybody else, I'm able to be authentically me when I'm around you, and you accept that and you love that about me. Now change me in a way that makes me fit you, but allow me to be identified as me, my genuine self, and love that about me, pump me up when I'm being me. I think that's what friendship is about.
I like that.
I think to also kind of add to that too is vulnerability, right? Like I should be able to be vulnerable with you and not feel like you gonna backstab me, use it, throw it in my face later on, make me feel less than because I'm actually showing you my softer side. Like you said, I should be able to be myself 100% through and through.
And show up, be there. Because the other girl was not there.
Right, she was not.
Exactly.
She had to show up.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
I also feel. Oh, go ahead, Ava.
No, I was just gonna say, I think supports, like having somebody who supports you, a true friend supports you, no matter what. It's like there will be friends who will say that they support you or will say that they'll show up for you, and their actions are not matching the words.
They're not in alignment, honey.
They're not in alignment. No. So support, I think, is a big factor. Like Quayla, I think it was you who mentioned how you feel, like trying to, it's an intuitive thing. If you feel like when you're around that person, you feel safe, you feel like, comfortable, you feel like you don't have to try to be anybody that you're not. That person is going to completely accept you for who you are. I feel like that's that too. How you feel can tell you a lot on whether or not somebody that you're with is a genuine friend. For sure. I agree.
And not competitive. Like, can we just be friends and, like you said, support each other, encourage me, uplift me? Yes, girl. Yes. Like, when you do good, like, why do you want to do the same thing I'm doing? Like, no, you know, unless we're trying. Right. Like, let's grow together. Yes. But okay, I did something good. Okay, good. You bought a house. Yay. But I ain't got no house. Oh, okay. Well, you know,
that happened to you.
Not, right.
No,
like, let's not make this a competition.
I agree. I mean, I think that competition in friendships, I don't like it. I'm sorry, Dorian, were you?
No, I was just saying, like, I think competition is key, like not being competitive, but I do feel like some friendships should have some type of, like, I challenge you because I see something way better in you, and you should be able to take, like, no, you need to keep on going. Like, you slipping, you know, like, that's like an encouragement and support also. But, you know, I think true friends should be able to take that tone, should be able to take, like, I want you to do better, because we are gonna be like, Quayla has a thing that she'll say, like, girl, because I need to take these rich people trips, so we need to be rich together. You know what I'm saying? So we always try to, like, push each other to do better, because we know we got it. You know, we have to do it. You know, sometimes we in our households, we be like, girl, I mean, Lord, like, it's me and you, like, what we gonna do? Okay, because if we got to go on the island by ourselves, we gonna make it.
I feel you. I agree that we should be able to, you know, challenge one another, hold each other accountable. But definitely, you know, like I was saying earlier, like the competition amongst friends, I just feel like I don't feel like that's rooted in anything positive, you know, because I don't have any reason why I would want to outdo you. And I wouldn't want you to be working to outdo me. I just want us to be able to coexist happily, cheering each other on, no matter if we're doing different things, the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's the spirit in which things are being done. And you're not my friend if you're competing with me. That's just how I feel.
Right.
You know, another thing that I think says a lot about whether a person is your friend is how authentic are they with you? How real are they with you? Because I personally can't stand fakeness. I can't stand it. I don't care if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm looking crazy, or if I'm just, tell me, don't let me go out and do something, or let me, you know, be real with me. Be honest with me. If you don't think, like, girl, you don't need to be doing that. You don't need to wear that. You don't. I'm just telling you, girl. Like, it's just my personal opinion or whatever. Like, be real with me. But there are a lot of people who will just allow their friends to go off looking acting anyhow. And then want to talk some mess behind their back about what they did or what they were doing. Like, come on.
You saying something right now, because that's what we do all the time. If we see somebody, if me and Dorian see somebody that's looking a mess, we'd be like, they don't have any friends. They can't have no friends.
But you can't just say that though, because sometimes people everybody can't handle realness and honesty and truth. People will literally make you the enemy. So sometimes people will make you be like, okay, well, you know what? I'll let you figure it out on your own.
No, then you picking the wrong type of friends. Then if I can't tell you, if you're going out with me, everybody looks good, and you messed up on something, why would I put you with girls and females that are competitive? Well, I'm not gonna say competitive, but you know, when you're in a group of girls, you're going to pinpoint the one that's not meeting the mark. I want all of us to look good. I want everybody to be like, look, do you see all of these bomb girls behind me? Everybody is at 100. I don't want you to be the one that's like, why is she with them? Don't be the oddball out. I'm going to tell you, go change your shoes. Go change your shoes.
Yeah, and frankly, I feel like more girls, like more friends, need to hold their friends accountable when they mess up, because there be some girls out here who will dog like a partner or dog a friend or dog somebody. That friend knows that they shouldn't, or that they're in the wrong for doing that, but instead of letting them know, like, girl, no, don't say that, like, don't do that or whatever, you just gonna keep, like,
just go ahead.
That ain't your friend.
No, if I'm your friend, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I don't think that the way you handle something is appropriate, I'm gonna tell you that I may not tell you, like, girl, you didn't handle that correctly at all, but I'd be like, well, I'm just gonna say maybe you should consider this, or maybe you should think about that.
It's the way you frame it too.
Yeah, there's ways in which you can word things.
Yeah,
I personally
absolutely, Quayla. There is.
There is, but sometimes you got a friend that's still gonna feel personally attacked. Like, you can probably try to sugarcoat stuff left and right, and depending on that friend, if you both have two dominant personalities, they can still feel attacked, regardless of what you say and how you say it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Thank you, Quita. Thank you.
I agree. There are those friends who can't take constructive criticism.
Right.
I get that. And if you are somebody's best friend, or you're somebody's friend, you'll come to figure that out. But if that's the case, I would say, all right, like, instead of like having an argument about things and letting it, like, okay. But at the same time, though, don't encourage it. You know what I mean?
Argue with you. I'm gonna argue with you. Nope.
Don't encourage it. Don't be my yes man. Don't hype me up when I'm wrong.
We're gonna argue about it.
But
We still
hold on,
friends,
Quayla, because sometimes we do hype each other up when we wrong, because we too much alike and we get it. You know what I'm saying? No. I'm just saying, like, you ain't never been in a situation with your best friend where y'all both was wrong, and it was like y'all didn't realize.
Okay, if my best friend is venting and she's just, I usually I can tell when my best friend is just venting, like she's coming from a place where she's heated and she just needs to get it all out. I'll be like, yeah, girl, yeah. But then if the next day or 2 days later she's bringing up the same thing and it ain't jiving, I'll be like, well, maybe you should consider this. I give her a moment because not everybody, when they're in a heated place, want to hear you trying to be positive about the situation, or you trying to think differently. Sometimes they just want to get something off their chest, and so at that time you just kind of like back off, and you might hype them a little bit, like, yeah, girl, get that out,
like validate them, like,
But then, like, the next day, if we still in that space, I'll be like, all right, baby, listen, we need to talk.
Get that moment of clarity.
Right.
Yeah, maybe not do that. I know you was, I thought you was joking.
Okay.
You pop one tire, don't pop the second one. Just stop.
Look, you got that bail money ready?
Right. I'm gonna stand beside you.
Right.
Help me understand as a character witness.
Right.
As a best friend, I'm a ride or die. So if it gets to that point, you end up popping, I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna be in it. I might cuss you out afterwards.
Right.
I'm a ride with you.
Like, sis, you was wrong, but I had your back, but you was wrong.
You was going down, I was going down with you, right. But I'm just like, I'm pissed.
But we might want to think about this.
So how do y'all feel about like trust with friendships? And establishing trust, feeling like you actually trust somebody?
I feel like, honestly, it's very important. I say that about all these things, though. But trust is very important. But, like, I guess to go even further than that, like, how can you tell when you can trust your best friend or your friend?
That's good.
Is it I guess one thing for me is I kind of pay attention to how people treat other friends or who they call best friends. And when you show me something against that person, it kind of it'll make me shut down. Because, okay, if you can do that with them, what makes me think you can't do it with me? You know what I mean? Right. And so that kind of gives me, I guess, some boundaries, I guess you could say, on how I kind of play that out on when I trust somebody.
I see that. I feel like it's one of those situations where you do need to observe, because on one level you might have something where you and your friend are talking about something, but maybe you're talking about something really personal, really deep, or you're talking about a particular individual because you trust that person and because, you know, you feel like you can speak outwardly about something with that person. But like you said, if you observe that friend then going around and being gossipy and telling all the business, or you get something that comes back around to you that you told somebody in confidence, or that your friends ended up being messy with another friends and that went around because they couldn't keep their mouth shut, then then that's when you look at it and it can become can become a bit affected by that, for sure. Absolutely. I agree.
So are we saying this is before we're friends or this is after we're friends?
After we're friends.
Oh.
So are you saying, like,
I mean, but why not before though?
Trust?
Because how do you establish that trust if that person is of that kind of character?
I mean, sometimes you can be friends with someone and start off as acquaintances and then gradually transition into a more established friendship. And maybe you just had trust enough for them to be an acquaintance, but then you start seeing some things like, I'm not really sure we can be friends on a more deeper level because I done seen some wishy-washy things that you've done, or you know, now I don't know how to play you. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So
I feel like though the scenario you presented, I feel like that's really a telltale sign in terms of if that's really a true friend of yours. Is it a true friend of yours if you can't trust them? Is that a real friend? You know, what do you guys think are some other ways to identify when someone is not your friend?
See, I'm not super friendly, so these are not questions for me. Like, I watch people. I'm serious. I watch people for such a long time that I can identify you as my type of people, and I'm not gonna go past.
You're breaking up.
It's just, you know, I buy little short sentences. Are we still having a problem?
No,
you're good now.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I was just saying that after I noticed and I see that you're not my people, I don't even attempt to establish a friendship. It's only when I can tell, okay, you know, I've discerned that we may or may not can be more than just work friends or school friends or friends of a friend, and then move forward that way. At that point, I give you little pieces of me. Once I see that little piece of me, I can trust you with that part. We then can start establishing a deeper connection. But I just don't jump into friendships.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I mean, because friendships, real friendships are a very I want to say serious matter, because to me, in a way, it is.
You said, Dorian, this is a serious matter.
It is, but it's not serious too, you know. But it's a very, well, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's very important to me. Okay, it's very important. But I feel like in terms of using your discernment, there are things that you can notice about people to help you determine whether or not there's even a potential for a genuine friendship. Yep. I feel like it was a couple of things you guys have already said, which is how they treat their other friends. How do they treat people that they love and that are close to them? Are they loyal? Do they gossip about them? Are they two-faced? Or how do they treat those people? Because that's really going to tell you how they will treat you, or the potential in how they will treat you. Also, I think somebody mentioned like quality time, right? That's another thing. If the friend doesn't want to, I mean, how do you even establish, nurture, and grow any type of relationship without any quality time, especially if one person desires it? So that would be a telltale sign if that's not a priority for that friend. I feel like in establishing friendships or meeting people, when you talk to people and they have a tendency to ask like intrusive questions, but then they don't want to be vulnerable with you, I feel like that is a telltale sign. I feel like it's also a sign of somebody who may be jealous, and they're looking for different either flaws or reasons and ways they can compare themselves to you. I feel like if you keep at least a few of those things in the back of your mind, you'll be able to discern who you can establish a genuine friendship with and who you may need to keep at a distance.
I agree. I also bring it kind of back to the whole trust thing. How, when the trust is broken in a relationship, in a friendship, right? Whether it be a best friendship or just a regular friendship, can that be redeemed?
Ooh. Who want to go first?
So I got a story, right? And I'm not gonna do any names or anything like that, but I'm gonna give you a scenario. And I just want to see how you would have responded to this scenario.
Okay.
So you're best friends with someone. I'm talking about been knowing each other for 10 years, right? Best friends with someone. And you break up with your child's father, right? Child's father's new girlfriend, which by the way, he cheated on you with them, right? Okay. But you try to find a way to co-parent, coexist. So you hang out with the new girlfriend a couple of times. You and your friend have one problem. Normally, you're always in sync. Everything's okay. I'm talking about keys to each other's house, super close. And you fall out. This fallout may have just occurred like a day or so ago, right? They start kicking it with the girlfriend of your ex. And then all of a sudden now they're calling each other's best friends. Would you? Yeah, exactly. How would you respond? Would you feel like that's still your best friend? Or would you be able to, because for me, the trust is kind of broken. The loyalty is kind of broken. Like I get you might have brought this person around because you were trying to build some type of relationship so that y'all can co-parent, right? But when me and you have an issue, now all of a sudden you're best friends with the girlfriend. How would you play that?
First of all,
I look like hell no.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
First of all, I would just kind of look at it and it just seems sad to me. It kind of seems desperate because that's kind of quick. Isn't it? Y'all just jumping on calling each other best friends. Like, how genuine is it really? At that point, I would start feeling like he was just doing it to spite me in some way, you know? And then at that point, I'm just like, well, nah, that's not how I roll. I don't need you. I don't need that type of energy in my life. I don't want it. So I probably wouldn't personally make any effort to try to get back into having a friendship with you. You would have to make the effort into trying to redeem yourself with me. And I promise there that I'm gonna accept you back as a friend. So to me, like, that's a no. That's a no for me.
Yeah. Woo.
I was gonna try to play devil's advocate, but
do you want to?
Go ahead. Go off.
Girl, I was trying to find a positive out of it too. I just couldn't find it. I was trying to find a twist on what
it's betrayal. It's betrayal.
I'm not gonna say it's betrayal No, because the girl might have been just super cool, but
no, as best friends, Quayla, when you hear, it is betrayal. Do you hear me?
It can be
sorry.
Listen, Quayla, this is no, we won't be friends no more. So just take it like that. This is our language. This is me and your language. If it was me and you.
Because you know what? If we are best friends and we are each other's best friends, that is a betrayal. I'll agree that it's like a kind of a betrayal, but at the same time, I really wouldn't acknowledge that that's really your best friend. I would think you go through a phase. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the husbands go through, like they turn 60 and they want a 25-year-old. I think you're going through a phase. Like somebody disappointed you, you're hurt. So now you're going to jump on something else to make you feel validated and important. Because there are other girls probably doing the exact same thing.
And that could very
but
well
so how
be
do
the case.
But how do I come back? How do I come back to you and be like, okay, I was just playing? You know, like now, I think that would for you would be like, now Trish.
It seems bad to me.
It's disloyalty,
it'll
bro.
never be the same again because you crossed the line. It's certain lines you just don't cross. You know, I'm sorry. It's just certain lines. You know better. As women, girl code, we know better, baby.
Ain't no vanilla
because
I told you
all of my secrets.
Right.
And would you want your baby daddy's girlfriend to now be best friends with your best friend, knowing how best friends conversate?
But is she telling your secrets?
I don't know. Who knows? Like, do you really know? They're best friends now.
Right. Like at that point, can you even trust that person?
You can't.
Right. To continue to honor even the friendship that you had by not spilling your secret, or they're just gonna be like, well, we're not friends anymore, so I can say what I want. Like
that's
I'm Pisces. I
could have said that ain't gonna be us though.
You're a Pisces.
I am, and I try to forgive, but there's some shit you can't come back from. You know what I mean? There's just some stuff I cannot. I can't play with it. You can't.
It's like cheating. It's like cheating in a romantic relationship. It's equivalent of being cheated on.
Look, as a fellow Pisces,
cheated on. I did.
As a fellow Pisces, I get it because we have that emotional layer, but we wear our hearts on our sleeves, and we take connections and relationships with people very seriously. So if you fuck with that, like that just it crosses a line that's very hard to come back from. At that point, you know, we like spiritual too. So at that point, I'm like, I don't like the energy.
Exactly.
I'll keep it pushing. Like,
couldn't even be in the same room anymore. It was weird. It was just weird. And then, like, because again, this is the girlfriend, right? So we would still see each other sometimes. She would invite to like kids' birthday parties. And our kids called each other's cousins. So they're not knowing that it's really weird of all of us being in the same room. But and now y'all are the best. From that? Recover in which way?
I mean, just
like the friendship?
I mean, whichever way that seems to be beneficial to the relationship itself. So maybe you're not best friends no more. Maybe you're just friends. Or maybe you still can hang out, but it's not, I'm not going to tell you my business.
No, we're not hanging out. But what we can do is we allowed it to stay cordial. Like kids are still friends. And so I allow that to be maintained. But as far as like being able to be a friend with you in other words, I don't know how to be a superficial friend, right? So it's either I'm all in or I'm all out. So with that being said, I could, and you know what? Here's the crazy part. We've had the conversations because we do love each other, right? There was definitely love there. That's why it did feel like a heartbreak or a breakup. And we both already came to the conclusion, like, it'll never be the same.
Right.
It just would never be the same. So we expected that, and we kind of just like gravitated away, you know. But we were actually pregnant at the same time. So when it all kind of transpired, it was like, oh girl, you just being emotional, right? Like you and your feelings or whatever. But then it kept going. So, you know, I rather do without that friendship.
Okay, I'm really happy that's how we're going to segue into the next thing, because that's really a good point to make. So how do you maintain strong friendships?
Honesty.
Yep.
Communication.
If I can't be honest with you, we can't be friends.
True.
We
If
cannot
I
be
can't start
friends.
no conversation with bitch, then we can't be friends. Girl. Like
I'm not gonna
that
act like I
is-
don't use the B word from time to time.
Definitely.
It just be one of them conversations. Bitch, let me just saying, hey.
No, I agree. Honesty, transparency, being able to, I think, always. Honestly, I feel like that's the biggest ways two of the biggest ways to make a friendship is to be honest, and transparent. That's because no matter what you go through, what I heard you go through, you can always be vocal about how you're feeling. And you can always be just upfront. And I think the other part too is allowing space, being able to allow space, because sometimes your friends go through things that they may be embarrassed to even talk to their best friends about. You know, sometimes they got so much going on that you may not see, and it can cause them to be a little distant, not because they don't care about you or because they don't love you or anything like that. They just need their time. They just need a moment to breathe and to
recharge.
Right, without the opinions of other people or, you know, the suggestions of other people. They just need that. So I feel like giving space and allowing space is a good idea, while still reaching out and being like, hey boo, I'm just checking on you. Like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm here for you, you know, without feeling like you have to force yourself in, like, talk to me. It doesn't have to be that way. It can really just be like, you know, I understand that you might be going through some stuff right now, so I'm gonna give you your space. And I think that's important when it comes to maintaining a connection too, because sometimes we might take somebody's silence or somebody's distance as them being cold or having an issue, or we take it personally. But it may not have anything to do with that. It might just be something that they're dealing with. And so instead of being so quick to think that it's about you, it's being considerate of the fact that there's probably something going on with them.
Where's my organ? Because you preaching right now, man.
That's when I get on my best friend's nerve, because I'm pulling up. You ain't gotta answer the phone. Don't answer the phone. Fine. I know where you stand.
No, she's my best friend, but she is definitely my little sis. Okay. She switches. She goes from best friend to little sis in a minute. Why you didn't answer?
I get it, because I'm that type of friends. Like, I will be like, yo, what's up? You good? You did, you know? And but I'll have my best friend, she's just like, I just need a little bit of space. I just need a little bit of time to think. I'm fine. Like, I'll be like, all right, girl.
But that's important.
I don't need much. I just need a little bit of communication. Let me know you breathing.
No.
Or I'm coming.
That's important though, because you're supporting the relationship with the self. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's, you know, to be able to even be aware enough of your friend and what they may be going through to say, I can sense that you need some space and I'm going to give you some space. I just want you to know that I'm still here. Like, that is so important. And that is so, like, it makes a person feel safe with you when you don't feel the need to have to pour as much in a moment where you can really focus on yourself, and you have somebody in your corner that 100% gets that and understands that and supports that. Like, yeah.
But let's be honest. When did we learn how to do that for our friendships? Because I'm gonna be honest, it took me past 30 for me to really be able to identify a friend in need and know how to not take it personally and internalize their distance as an issue with you, but more so them going through something.
I think it was recently with me, like within the past 2 years, only because I was tested with that with my own best friend, you know. It was challenging because I didn't understand completely how distant she can become whenever she's in a mental space that isn't always like, she just needs to focus on her, you know?
Right.
And so for a while, like sometimes I find myself taking that personally, but then I was just like, it might not be a personal thing, you know, just chill, like calm down. I had to learn to be okay with my friend taking time to just be with her thoughts and be with herself and not really, you know, have much to say. And I just kind of learned to just check in with her, just be like, look, love you, you know, have a good day, thinking of you, sending you good vibes, all of that, until she's ready to come out of that space, and she comes out that space. And then we back at it, you know. We back at it. But I definitely had to learn that, and it made me kind of think too about how many past friendships where I may have taken things personally where I shouldn't have necessarily taken it personally, rather should
Definitely
have reached
guilty.
out and seen if that person was okay, more so, or just been like, all right, well, let me give them their time, you know, they'll come back around when they're ready. I mean, there's only so much you as a friend can do. You can't necessarily force yourself on people, you know, so you do what you can, and you send the good vibes, and you send the love, and you check in, and keep it rolling, you know.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I personally, like, that's one of the things I feel personally as a friend. Like, I'm very easygoing in that regard. Like, if I sense that you need space, or if you haven't talked to me in a week or two, or whatever the case, I'm praying for you, I'm wishing you well, I'm sending you good vibes, but I'm not forcing it, because sometimes it can add more pressure onto people's lives, and we don't know what pressures they're already dealing with. So I feel like that's really, really something to consider and look at and implement, in terms of, because we all need it.
Yeah.
That's what I found, is that I didn't know that I was a person that needed time to recharge. I thought I had to be under somebody all of the time. I was afraid to be alone. And once I realized, no, Brittany, you need time and space, I freely give that to other people, because I understand how valuable that is.
Yeah.
I think for me, it took me going through something for me to be able to understand that people needed space. I think it took me, because I am one of those people. I was always on 10. I was always on the go. I was always doing something, busy. So when people would pull away or they'll be by themselves, I'm like, girl, what's wrong? Like, you okay? Like, why you treating me like this? It's me, 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 me. And it wasn't until I fell into my own depression that I realized, like, hey, no, they're just taking time for themselves. They're trying to figure their own stuff out. They're trying to, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to heal. And sometimes it has nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's like you said, sending those good love, high vibrations, love you texts, and just saying, hey, I'm still here. I'm here when you need me. That's really all a friend needs when they're going through something.
I agree.
Strong friendships.
I do think it takes time and growth for you to get to that point, because I feel like within our community, we, I guess we expect so much growing up, like, you know, your elementary school days, your middle school days, you know, y'all trying to be ace boon coons, and you kind of like, dang, it makes me feel bad if I'm like moving away from this energy. And then this person really, really needs me. But like Brittany says, you need that time to recharge. You can't be all available for these people when we now have our own families and we have our own things to do in our own lives. We can't be on 100. We can't give it all, you know, then there's nothing for ourselves. And if we don't have nothing for ourselves, and we can't give back to our relationships, our friendship, our children, and then we're burnt out, and that's not fair to us. So as friends, you do have to kind of be okay with giving them that space.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I learned finally.
Sure, I know.
That what makes a strong friendship is space. Y'all are all in agreement that space creates a strong friendship.
I think it maintains strong friendship.
It maintains a strong friendship.
Okay. And a couple of shots won't hurt.
Girl.
Yeah, I would say space, but I'm saying more so just being able to be adaptable. If space is needed, you're safe with me. Take your space. I'm not going to apply extra pressure. I'm not going to make you feel bad. But, you know, like, not too much space, bestie. Like, what are we talking about? Not too much. You can have a little space. Yeah.
See, I would say, like, no judgment and giving me grace, give me the opportunity that maybe within that space to grow and develop and be accepting of that development and to grow with me. I feel like when you're maintaining a friendship, just like any relationships, if one person is moving faster or taking a different path, that the other person is okay with you going in that direction or moving that quickly. And they might not necessarily be going the same way, but can meet you when needed.
Does that make sense? Mm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It's being open and willing to grow in their own way, because it's maintaining a friendship, a strong friendship, is going to be very hard if you have one individual who is open to working on themselves and another individual who's just content with staying where they're at. Mm-hmm. In life, you are constantly evolving and constantly shifting and constantly growing to this person that you are. And so there are certain people who just like staying where they're at, or they feel maybe they're not ready. They're not in a place where they're ready to move. And that can cause complications. Because if you got the one friend who is like, you know, something has got to change. I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do that. And now they're expanding while the other friend is just still, we're not doing any type of moving at all. You know, it is going to cause a little bit of complications, because it's true. Like, now you, on an energetic level, you're no longer matching. Not that you have to take separate paths, but you're not, there's no growth. One person's growing and the other person is just content on being where they are and not really doing anything to improve upon themselves and improve who they are as an individual. So that can be something. So I do feel like maintaining the friendship takes both parties being willing to grow. Just to grow, not even just to grow within a friendship, but just to grow on an individual level as well.
Absolutely.
Or not grow on an individual level.
Absolutely.
We can say the same.
But I think sometimes in friendships, you know where that friend is mentally or physically or within that moment. And you don't really want to push them to get out of their bubble, their comfort zone at that time, because then they might move forward too quickly and then fall and then fail and then you feel bad. So everybody has to move on their own terms. You just kind of accept where they are.
That's what I mean. Yes. Like me, I'm where I am.
I think that's for true friends. I think that's where it lies, because I accept you wherever you are in life, you know, and where we meet is peace. Where we meet is love. Where we meet is transparency.
I'm about to get this,
you know, so it doesn't always have to be like we're on the same.
Yeah,
we're on this journey. Yeah.
Like, or the same journey. But we definitely, I mean, I just like, even like Quayla and I try to keep our friendship a safe zone. Like, forget everything else. We can talk about it, but like, girl, let me tell you, you know, what happened over here. You know, it just makes you just feel good. It makes you feel like just in a good place.
You got one
and
person.
I feel like sometimes just because you're not growing at the same level I'm not growing at the same level you're growing, that shouldn't like change our friendship. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, we can push you and challenge you, but I don't want you to go faster than you might be ready for either.
I agree. I think that friends encourage each other. They're like, you know how, like, when you have a relationship with somebody, you want a relationship with somebody who's going to support your growth and accept you for who you are and accept where you're at, but also encourage you to do, like, to be your best self, you know?
Right.
It's like, I accept you for who you are, but I'm also here to support you and encourage you to continue evolving into who you're supposed to be. I think that's like that fine, beautiful balance of the two is just like, yes, I do. I accept you for who you are, and I know you, and I see your potential. And so because I see your potential, I'm going to encourage that potential, not try to force it on anybody or try to push somebody to do anything like before they're ready, but more so like stimulating that,
inspiring.
Yes, inspiring. Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you don't become stagnant, right?
Right. We appreciate all of you for spending your time with us today. To our guests, thank you so much for joining us.
I love you. Thank you. Shout out to Aquita and Dorian.
Yes, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate it. And for those of you who are following us, watching us on YouTube, please, if you have not already done it, hit that subscribe bell. Because I mean, what are you waiting for? You need more of this in your life, okay? We want to be your friends.
That's right.
So please hit that subscribe bell. For anyone else listening, please like, share, follow. Feel free to comment. We love to hear from you all. And we thank you so much for joining in with us today. And we shall see you next week on another episode of Three Scoops
on a Sunday.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.